Hello everyone, this is Julie with Craft with Julie, and I wanted to walk through our January Stamp of the Month kit. So grab your kit if you have it, grab your stamp set, and you'll also need, see, I put the little things on the back, card bases, envelopes, scissors, adhesive, some liquid glue or glue dots, and then you'll want to grab your espresso, peach, avocado, and canary ink, and some 3D foam. So if you're wondering, well, I don't have that kit. Well, let me tell you how you can get it. This is the January Stamp of the Month card kit. I send this to you for free when you purchase this stamp set right here. So this is January Stamp of the Month. It is called Every Thank You. You can purchase it online for $18.95, or you can get it for $5 with a $50 purchase. Or if you are a close to my heart VIP customer, you can get it for free with a $50 purchase. So after you purchase this stamp set or get it free, I will send you, sorry, it's like a glare. I will send you this card kit with all of the pieces that you need to create these 3 cards. So today I'm just going to walk you through the cards. For those of you who have the kit, you can craft along with me, or I still have a couple of these kits left, so there's a little bit of time that you can still get this stamp set. It goes until the end of January, so a couple more days. You can grab this and I will send you this kit for free. So let's go ahead and get started. So in each kit I put a picture, and it's all coming out. I put a picture of the cards. I let you know the other supplies that I use. So if you're wondering, what is this wood grain paper? It's right here. I will tell you the item number and where I got that. Also the different cardstocks I used and accents and things like that. Then inside I have all of your pieces, and I have them your little package of accents, and then I have them separated into, this is card 1, card 2, and card 3. So I try to make it as easy as possible for you. And then on the back I give you some instructions, other items you'll need that I just read off, and then kind of an idea of what to do on each of the cards. But I just wanted to go through and create these with you so you can see if you had any questions or anything. They're pretty simple, but again, it's sometimes easier to see I am more visual, so sometimes I learn better by watching someone else do it. So let's go ahead and start with card number 1, which is this one right here. I'm trying to think where I move this stamp set, and I'll stick it up here in the corner. And I'm going to grab my pieces and a card base. Now, if you've gotten one of these Stamp of the Month kits from me before, I would love to hear what you thought about it. If you liked it, even if what I can do better, just let me know. I really enjoy putting these kits together each month for you guys. That's one of my fun things I get to do is design, and so I really enjoy it. But let me know what you think, and just put it in the comments. Okay, so this first one we're going to stamp. Well, let me show you the pieces first. So you'll have this wood grain piece. You'll have a polka dot, the plus green, and this like plaid piece. And then you'll have this white strip for your sentiment. This wood grain came out of the wood grain paper packet, and then these 3 patterns came out of the mix-in paper packet. It's one of those that just has all kinds of different patterns and colors. See on the opposite side. So you can have options. But the mixed-in paper packet is really awesome. I always grab it a new one comes out with every idea book, and I grab it just because there's so many fun patterns in there. Okay, so on our sentiment piece, we're going to stamp thank. So it is the kind of swirly-ish think in espresso ink. I'll grab, I can see my sentiment from last time I stamped. I need to clean my blocks. Okay, so if your stamp is brand new, you'll want to season it. And to season it, you can either just rub it on your hand. I know it sounds funny, but it really helps get you a nice crisp image. Or you can stamp it a couple times in an ink and then clean it off, and it should work just fine too. So I'm going to grab this foam and stick it under there. I'm going to scooch this over just a little bit. And my espresso ink, it's a really nice brown, like a dark brown. I'm going to ink that up. And try not to get my sleeve in the ink. I'm going to stamp it right kind of towards the left hand side. Right there. And then I'm going to grab my chamois and clean that off. I actually just keep my chamois in a Rubbermaid container. Makes it really nice and easy. And it keeps it contained so it doesn't like, if it has any color on it, it doesn't get on anything else. Okay, so the U, so you'll want to stamp the solid U in peach. And peach is kind of a lighter, well, it's a peach. It's a lighter pink. And let's see, oh, here's my stamp set. So this solid U right here that has the lines that match. Oh, I'm going to just use this smaller block again. If it's brand new, you'll want to season it. And I'm going to stamp that right next to the think. Now, you'll want to do the solid one first and then do the lines. I found it easiest to line up the lines when I did the solid first. So that's a little tip for you. And grab the lines. And that one's going to be an espresso again too, according to my instructions. Sometimes I forget. I design these and then I move on to something else, and so sometimes I forget what I did. Okay, this one I'm going to have to scooch a little bit towards me, maybe get my head in there. Sorry, because I want to line it up. Oh, I can't even see very well. This one you kind of want to get right on top of it. Okay, there you go. And then if you miss it a little bit, it's okay. That peach will just show and it's light enough that it's no big deal. All right, so that's all the stamping on that one. So let's go ahead and grab our other pieces. So you'll want to dovetail all of these pieces. So my tip for dovetailing is I just snip up the center and then I meet from corner to corner. So I just kind of guess on what is the center and just meet it like that. Makes it really simple to do. And then I'm going to do it on all of these as well. It doesn't have to be perfect. There's other ways you can do it, but I found this is the easiest way to dovetail. And do this one. Isn't that the cutest plaid? That has the peach color too on it. And that one, what's on the back? Oh yeah, just stripes. And then the last one, this cute little polka dot. I'm a sucker for polka dots. And then this one right here. Okay, so now we're ready to assemble. And grab my adhesive. Today I'm using a different one. This is the permanent adhesive. It was on my desk, so I just grabbed it. And I'm going to set that in the center of my card base to leave that white edge. And then I'm going to take this peach one, kind of guess where the center is, and stick that one in the center. If you want to measure, you totally can, but I just guessed. Then you're going to leave about 1/4 of an inch in between each of these. And then we're going to add this. You could 3D foam the sentiment if you want. Straight across, easy peasy. And then we have our little wood heart that goes on here, like right here. So how I got the color, can you see that the heart has some color on it? I just took the peach ink and I just took my little heart and I just pushed it into the ink. Oh, and into my finger. So I pushed it into the ink until I got the look I wanted, and then I will attach it to my card. And I have glue dots, or you can use some liquid glue. That works best on these wood shapes and elements. Okay, and then I'll just stick it right there on that pendant. Okay, that's card number 1. So cute. You could totally change out the patterns and get a whole nother look, but that gives you a fun idea to create more cards with. Okay, so card number 2 is this one right here. We're going back to old school of random stamping. Who remembers random stamping? Oh, those were the good days, random stamping. I'm going to grab my little foam piece. But in your card number 2, you have this little white piece that was for the banner. And then this avocado is going to be our background. And then this piece right here is what we're going to random stamp. So with random stamping, you kind of want to go in like a triangle formation. And let me show you what I mean. If you're new to random stamping, it's been around a while. I probably should have got a smaller block, but this one will work. So I'm taking the star, thank you, and canary ink. That's the one I'm going to start with. Scooch that over a little bit. And I'm going to stamp it randomly. So I'm going to kind of just tilt it this way off of the page. And then I'm going to come over here and stamp it. So I'm going to be doing a triangle, if that makes sense. It's not a perfect triangle, but it kind of, the rule of 3s and in a triangle shape. So let me get the next one. Let's do the heart. And that one's in peach. And this is the same heart I used on another video, if you remember. Go check that one out if you didn't see how I used the heart in a different project. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing, kind of space them out in a 3. So here's this one. I'll come down here, kind of to go off the page, and then I will come over here. So it's still kind of a triangle, but a little bit bigger. And now we have the speech bubble, thank you. I loved all these colors together. These are the colors in that like mix-in paper packet. And I thought they were so cute. So that's where the color scheme came from. Was that mix-in color paper or paper packet. Okay, so here's the speech bubble. This one is going to be a little bit trickier because now I don't have so much space. So I'm going to do that one right there. And this one off the edge right here. And I guess it's not going to be a triangle, but I wanted to get at least 3 in there. So my rule for that one didn't work. Wasn't playing by the rules on that one. Okay, so now we have the cute little confetti in there. And we're just going to sprinkle some stars and hearts. So I'm going to start with let's start with the hearts. So I grabbed this little itty bitty baby heart that's in this set. And we're going to use peach. Oops. And we're just going to stamp this. I gotta put it on my block so my finger, there we go. And we're just gonna kind of randomly stamp this all over. Kind of still doing that triangle. So 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. So still like a triangle over here. And then let's get our little stars out. And with the stars, I just kind of smushed them in wherever it needed a little color. So I didn't use the rule on that one. And there's espresso. Oh, that's really cute too, just leaving it that way if you want a softer look. But we gotta put these cute little stars in there. And when you're doing these smaller shapes, you want to just lightly push, otherwise they'll kind of squish out. Does that make sense? So just lightly push it down, and let's add one right there and right there. Yeah, the little guys don't need too much pressure when stamping them. And now let's do the banner. So here's a little banner. I probably shouldn't have put my espresso away because that's what we're using. And set that one aside and get that little small white piece. I'm going to ink that up. You want to make sure it's really nice and inked because it's a solid stamp. And just stamp that down. Oh, that one looks good. Clean that puppy off. And we're going to fussy cut. Sorry, my voice is going. We're just going to cut around, leaving just a little bit of that white edge. And then we will add it to our project with a little bit of 3D foam. And then we're going to add some of that cute ribbon, which I think is in the clearance section right now. This ribbon right here. So take a peek. If you like the ribbon, you can get a really good deal on it. Okay, so let's go ahead and assemble this card. So let's grab our card base. We're going to add the avocado to the card base. Has a little something on it. So I'm going to flip it around so it's on the back of my card. Okay, and with the avocado, I just cut it a little bit, like 1/8 of an inch larger than this white piece, just to get that little little peak of color behind it, instead of like a full 1/4 of an inch. So it's about 1/8 of an inch larger than the white piece. So here's our little thank you, and I'm going to grab, there's my 3D foam. I'm like, where did it go? This is a thin 3D foam. I like to use the thin on my cards, just so it doesn't get too bulky for the mail. And I'm going to add that right there. And then in my little package, there is some of this ribbon. And I'm going to loop it, wrap it around, and then squeeze it through. Just kind of play with it till I like how it looks. Or I can totally redo it. I think that will work just fine. And grab another little glue dot. Come on, glue dot. There we go. To put on that, and then I'm going to just put it right there above the T, and then I can trim those if I want, or I can leave them long. So there you go, card number 2 with some fun random stamping. All right, last but not least is card number 3. I think this one is my favorite. I had too much fun with this one. Okay, so we are going to, card number 3, you have a larger piece of white and then this little piece of white. So this one, you want to stamp U in espresso ink. So it is this one right here on the top is the U that I used. The U that I used. And scooch that over a little bit. So we're going to stamp that kind of towards the bottom on the left hand side, about an inch up, I would say. Just going to stamp that. And then, like, what do my instructions say? Okay, so what I'm thinking is what my instructions say. So yay, I'm following my own instructions. This little dot right here, we're going to stamp that in peach. So when I have a stamp that's kind of flimsy, I'll just set it on my workspace and then pick it up so it stays straight on my block. And this one is peach. Do you guys leave your ink pads out on your desk so you don't have to open them again, or do you open them as you need them? Let me know, because as I'm doing this, I'm like, I probably should just leave them all open, but then I'm afraid that I will put the wrong stamp in the wrong ink or put my hand in it. I don't know. What do you guys do? Okay, so I stamped that little dot just right, kind of past the little Y and then going this way. Then we're going to stamp the other banner, the straight banner, think, in avocado on this extra white piece that we have. There's my avocado. I'm going to scooch that over this way. And this is a solid one too, so you want to make sure that you're nice and inked up. And just stamp it on the center. Okay. All right, so then we're going to cut that out, and then we're going to do the circles. Where are my scissors? There they are. So I'm going to just leave a little bit of that white showing. On the banner. Oops. And just cut that out. A little fussy cutting. It's therapeutic, right? Okay, so this would go right here. Oops, upside down. But we're going to attach that in just a minute. So grab your little circles. And on this one, I use both sides. So we have the peach and then the yellow. And then actually, trying to think. I don't know if there was a rhyme or reason or I just went with it. Then we're going to do the plaid one. And then the back side of the polka dot. I'm just going to lay them out, make sure it looks the way I want it to look, and then I will glue them down. And that one and the polka dot again. So I just want them to kind of offset each other just a little bit. Oops. line them up. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, so now I'm going to glue them down. And that top one we will cut off. So these circles I just cut from my Cricut. It was just pretty simple. I just went in and looked for a circle. And they're 1-inch circles, if you were wondering. Okay, and then this one. This way you get all of those really nice, fun patterns showing. And they all match. It's kind of fun. I'm gonna run out of space. It's all right. Then the last little one. And right there. Okay, now I did stamp this larger heart right here in peach ink. Where's my peach? There it is. That's optional if you want. I just thought I added something kind of fun right there. Right there. Okay. And then we're going to just trim that extra off on both ends. And then we'll attach it to our card base. Now if you want to get fancy, you can 3D foam this onto your card base if you want, just depending on, you know, the dimension you want. I'm just going to attach it straight to it. Right there in the center. And then I'm going to use 3D foam to attach the think. Right above the U, kind of just hanging off a little bit. There you go, card number 3. Are they so fun? I don't know, I really enjoyed designing this for you guys. Again, this is January Stamp of the Month kit. It is only available for a couple more days, and I have a few extra kits. So if you want to create these cards, just go to my website. Oh, I got stuff on there. JulieScott.closetomyheart. There we go. JulieScott.closetomyheart.com. You can go up to the promotions tab and click on Stamp of the Month, and you'll be able to find this stamp set. And then I will send you all the pieces to create these 3 cards. So if you have any questions, let me know. Stick it in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.